Ethan Walker had never been one to trust easily. He had spent years wandering the wilds, following the call of ancient maps and forgotten legends, never staying in one place for too long. His grizzled beard and weather-worn clothes told the story of a man who had seen too much to be surprised by anything anymore. But when he met Lyra Stormwind, he found something he didn't know. He was missing someone who could match his grit and challenge his every decision. It had been 3 years ago when they first crossed paths, on a particularly dangerous expedition in the northern reaches of the Vernfell Mountains. Ethan had been hired to chart an unmarked pass, but the expedition was falling apart before it even began. The group was losing morale, the weather was getting worse, and the supplies were dwindling. That's when Lyra showed up. A young woman with raven black hair, sharp eyes, and a confidence that had the rest of the crew questioning if they could do it without her. She had a reputation for mapping treacherous terrains that no one else would even consider, and the leader had decided to bring her in at the last minute. Ethan had been skeptical at first. A young woman, no more than 25, joining a team of seasoned explorers. It didn't sit right with him. But from the moment Lyra stepped into camp, she commanded attention. Her first words to him had been simple, but sharp. I think you're using the wrong compass. Ethan had scoffed at the idea, but after a few pointed arguments and a minor misstep with his own map, he realized she was right. Since then, they'd been inseparable, though the bond between them was far from ordinary. They had a working relationship built on mutual respect and a grudging acceptance that the other often knew best. Now, in the fading light of the Elorn Pass, they stood on the edge of an ancient ruin, examining the map that had led them here. Ethan leaned over the map, his fingers brushing over the faded ink. "This is it. I'm certain of it," he murmured, his voice low and focused. His eyes traced the faint lines that had haunted him for months, lines that spoke of a forgotten place, buried beneath time and dust. "Are you sure about this?" Lyra's voice cut through his thoughts, a note of caution mixed with her usual calm determination. He straightened, his brow furrowed as he turned to her. The last rays of the sun caught her face, and for a moment, he saw a flicker of uncertainty in her bright blue as a rare sight, one that made him pause. But Lyra Stormwind didn't often show vulnerability. "I'm sure," he said, more to reassure himself than to convince her. "This is the spot. The map says it's here, hidden beneath these ruins." Lyra's gaze shifted from the map to the crumbling stone walls surrounding them. "This place gives me the creeps." She glanced over her shoulder, the wine tugging at her dark hair. She always had a way of making even the bleakest places seem darker. "Feels like we're not the first ones to come looking." Ethan didn't answer immediately. He was used to Lyra's instincts. They had saved them both on more than one occasion. He ran a hand through his graying hair, tucking it behind his ear, before giving her a half-a-little. "If we were the first, it'd be disappointed. What's the point of a treasure hunt without a bit of danger?" Lyra shot him a look, one eyebrow arch. "You've got a twisted idea of fun." He chuckled, the sound rough like gravel. He respected Lyra more than anyone else had met in his travels. She was like the others who sought fame or fortune. She had her own reasons for searching out the ancient places of the world, reasons she rarely shared. But Ethan had learned to read between the lines. As they ventured deeper into the ruins, Lyra's warning voice kept him on edge, her sharp eyes scanning the surroundings for hidden traps or signs of danger. The air grew colder as they moved, and the scent of damp earth and old stone filled their lungs. "Watch your step," she said quietly. "There's something off about this place." Ethan nodded, his hand instinctively brushing the hilt of his sword. He trusted her instincts with his life. They had been through too much together to doubt each other now. When they reached the chamber with the pedal and the stone tablet, Lyra stepped forward first, her fingers gently tracing the strange symbols. Ethan stood a few paces behind her, watching her closely. There was something about this moment that felt different, like the beginning of something far bigger than either of them had anticipated. Had seen people get obsessed with treasure before, but with Lyra, it was always about the discovery. There was a hunger in her to uncover the world's lost secrets, and it was contagious. "This is it," she whispered, her voice reverberating in the silent chamber. "This could be the key." Ethan moved closer, his heartbeat quickening as he read the inscription on the stone tablet. "Valdir, the lost city." "But that's just a myth." Lyra's eyes shone with excitement, but her expression was serious. "Not anymore." She paused, meeting his gaze. "If we decipher this, we could find it. Valdir, and everything it holds." The moment was shattered by a violent tremor. The ground shook beneath their feet, and Ethan instinctively reached for Lyra, pulling her back as the stone door slammed shut with a deafening crash. "What's happening?" he shouted, his voice barely audible over the roar of falling debris. Before Lyra could answer, the floor beneath them cracked open, revealing a deep, yawning chasm. "We need to go now." Lyra's voice was sharp, panicked. She grabbed his arm, pulling him toward safety, and they ran, dodging falling rocks, leaping over widening cracks, until they reached the stone door. But it was too late. It had sealed shut. Ethan's pulse pounded in his ears as he realized they were trapped. His gaze darted around the room, searching for a way out. Lyra, ever the problem bar, didn't miss a beat. Her sharp eyes landed on a small, intricate mechanism carved into the stone wall. "I think I can open it." "Cover me," she commanded. Ethan drew his sword, positioning himself between her and the increasingly unstable chamber. His mind raced as he scanned the darkness, his every instinct telling him danger was closing in fast. With a final click, the stone door groaned open and Lyra's eyes met his determination and relief all at once. "Move," Ethan shouted, pulling her through the door just as the room behind them collapsed into rubble. They stumbled into the blackness of another tunnel, breathless and white. The adrenaline from their close call surged through their veins, but neither of them spoke for a moment. Lyra exhaled, her voice trembling slightly, but still resolute. "That was too close. Tell me about it." Ethan replied, his gaze flickering back toward the path ahead. He could and shake the feeling that what they had just uncovered was only the beginning. He turned to Lyra, meeting her steady as in the dark. "But we're not turning back now." Lyra smiled, her eyes gleaming with a fire that matched his own. "No turning back. Let's find Valdir."